what we were doing.
I'll walk up and take a look.
We haven't read it yet, by the way.
Oh.
FYI.
Well,
Yes,
like a school child, I'll peek over your shoulder.
The piece of parchment in front of them is lengthy, and the scroll rolls down pretty far, common of academic scrolls that want to pack as much info on them as possible. And there's a small bit of writing at the top, but perhaps more importantly, the map is dominated by what looks to be a map. And it's not a regional map. It doesn't show coastlines with little cities as blips and such. It looks more like a complex blueprint where you see rooms and walls and things like that. The building is unfamiliar to you if that is what this represents. Maybe it's a cave complex or something. But whatever it is, it's rather large.
And what's the significance of this?
I think there's some text above the map here. Can we try to read that? Is there a preface to this blueprint?
You do find, indeed, that Eldridge, or so he calls himself, has left a little bit of writing at the top, and in a few sentences, he mentions that, what was it exactly that you guys had gone to him asking for? You were looking to scry for Mr. Chow, is it not?
the Dart and Mr. Chow.
And then we ended up doing a multi-planar search, for Mr. Chow. And after he insisted very creepily.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the top here, Eldritch writes that he can't have this map fall into anybody's hands, and that it's important that it be for your eyes only. He tells you as well that the magic for this scroll is not just that which will conceal the map until you've revealed its contents, but it'll also expire over time, and that it will eventually disappear. And he says that he's done this so that it doesn't end up in the wrong hands. The result of the scrying yielded some results, and it turns out that Mr. Chow is on indeed another plane of existence, in the Shadowfell. And this location here that's been shown to you is the fortress in which he found him.
I'll try to burn these blueprints into my mind as much as I can.
I'm doing the same thing.
Sure. He hasn't given a date exactly, but he's also left out other key information, which, well, from those of you who had been in the room speaking with Eldridge, might make sense, but he's left certain things purposefully vague. For instance, he doesn't tell you exactly where it is that you'll find this fortress, let's say, or how he can see all of it if he was just scrying on Mr. Chow.
Kalik, I think I can speak for Cold Code here when I say we were really off-put by this so-called Eldritch. He's wearing a mask. He had these kind of waxy covered hands. He's being very evasive. I mean, all of this was kind of under the guise of saying the scryers of the tower had to be kept anonymous, but I don't know. There's a few things he said which caught us off guard. I think specifically he referred to us as the sword.
Whoop! Annie appears behind you, Edgar.
Jeez. Metri, I mean.
Wait, this Annie, this Eldritch, is he of the Inquisition, or?
No. We went to the tower to hire someone. He didn't even charge us, which is the weird part.
Yes, we were supposed to go back out through the entrance and pay where we came in, and the next thing we knew, we were outside, the side of the building.
And before solving the scroll, I did go to a pipe shop. He was smoking a pipe. I managed to nail down a local area that might have the same supply, and they did confirm that was a man of his stature I mean, he was feigning to be weak and feeble, but I could tell that there was someone almost my height and my build under those robes and under that mask. The guy did confirm that that gentleman came in, but I didn't want to push it further than that. He didn't have a name or anything like that. He did say that this gentleman came in on the first of every season like clockwork to get a supply. It's a particularly strong tobacco.
Well, sorry I couldn't have been there to witness it all, but
I mean, as of late, things are a little more unstable, so it's fine. If I'm racking my brain here, I think the expression he used, which Catman Robotics was saying, was used as well with, who is the deity again, Colcoat, that you were dealing with?
Ah, yes, it would have been Celestine.
Right. Celestine referred to you as the sword and shield, right?
It was the mercenaries.
Right. Mercenary was what he referred. He also used the term sword and shield, but he did use the term mercenary as well. So, considering Celestine's history of subterfuge with Catman Robotics, we just didn't really know what to make of it.
But either way, it looks at least like whoever it was wanted to help us. Mr. Chow is in fact in his fortress. This is a huge help.
Did Celestine not teleport you around, heal you when you were in need?
She did, yes, both.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take a moment to just hard cast Identify while I have the time on
Sure.
the map, just to see if I can glean anything else from it.
Okay.
Would I have any knowledge of the Shadowfell?
Oh, make an Arcana
Maybe
roll.
think.
Would I know anything as well?
You could definitely make one as well.
Cool.
14.
Okay.
17.
14, 17. Tidge, you know that the Shadowfell is one of the major planes. Out there are all sorts of little demi-planes pocking the universe. But the few major ones include like the elements, the abyss, and the heavens, etc. The Shadowfell is one of the mirror planes, and you would know that it's a shadowy representation of everything that exists here, and that a lot of the world's sort of strange, dark, or evil creatures are oft ones that have simply slipped from the Shadowfell into the material plane. The counterbalance to the Shadowfell, you would know, is the Feywild and all of its greenery. And Kalek, I would say that you know about the same. You would also know that being a mirror plane, the parts of the Shadowfell are very similar to what you find on the material plane. So if you travel from here to the other side, you would likely find very similar terrain or something like that. But it's not always the same.
I have a question.
Mhm.
All those portals that we'd come across, I was going to ask you if we could get those onto this map. Would any of those have the same kind of, like, be a portal that would be, like, have an entrance to the Shadowfell?
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, any portal could potentially lead there. As far as where those were, what do you mean, like the frog and such?
Yeah, I know one of them was to the Feywild, which is, like, around here somewhere.
Yeah, the frog battle happened here.
Okay, so there's a one of the Feywild ones was when we were coming down to here. I can't remember what it was exactly. It was somewhere in this area, I thought.
Wait. Colcoat, suppose we took this map to a certain transport vessel. He who will not be named?
Perhaps someone that could cross-reference with the history book of Skyfall. See if any of the buildings look similar.
Do you think he could dream this up, perchance?
Well, at the very least, he could come up with a guess of what it could be.
I'm picturing Kalec keeps leaning in with his eyebrows going further up.
It is definitely worth a try. Unfortunately, with the sensors not working, you won't be able to see it visually, but if there's anything that matches up as far as the information of the books we have purchased to teach him, could be something there.
Do you remember if you've gotten anything from based on the Shadowfell? As
Well,
far
I've
as the
got-
books?
We do have a book about portals. Probably in there somewhere. I haven't had the chance to read through the whole thing yet.
I mean, if it requires a stop at a library, we're in the best place to do it.
I would hope it would be in the book we purchased. We spent several hundred gold on some of these from a merchant friend of ours. Quite a lot of information.
I cock my eyebrows.
On a piece of paper, you spent hundreds of gold.
Well, to be fair, there are quite a few pieces of paper.
Is it magical?
Not that I know of.
Sounds like a waste of money to me. Could have brought a mattress for that amount.
Ah, yes, but Harold is able to take in all of the information within minutes.
So why'd you buy it then?
To teach
Couldn't
him.
you just have read it?
I guess we could have borrowed them, but the ship was in the sewers, and we'd have to drag them through the sewers to get there. I don't know that they would let us. You know, it smells down there. It's really
I'm
gross.
face palming as he's trying to explain this to her.
He may have to forfeit his deposit on those books.
We had the money at the time, anyways. We did fine.
Okay,
We
moving
just got
on.
paid.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting development, at least. If the Shadowfell mimics this plane in some way, shape, or form, that's a good lead. It's a very good lead.
Anything
I'm-
from the identify?
The scroll here does not seem to give you anything, and it appears as non-magical.
Interesting. All right.
I do have to voice my concern here that we're just falling into yet another trap. If Celestine is as devious as she seems here, this wouldn't be the first time she gives a group false hope and leads them down the wrong path. I mean, think about this. We get into the Aldrich Tower, someone posing as a scryer gets in there, which we know is near impossible, and probably only a deity is capable of committing that kind of fraud. Gives us the juiciest bit of information we've gotten in, well, months in our case, and then doesn't even charge us for it? I don't know, it just seems a little fortuitous to me.
Perhaps our interests align. It's good to be skeptical, but there is a chance. Good luck, I suppose.
And they all died at the end.
Could you, what was your last message to Jen?
We miss you.
Hey,
No.
buddy.
No, my last message to Jem.
It totally was.
No, it wasn't.
Hey, boo.
I
What you wearing?
I told him you had reclaimed your house's name. You are now the leader of your house, the head of your house. And I spoke to him, and I mentioned that we needed to locate Dr. Chow. Whew.
Got Jem on the mind, son?
I told him we needed to track him down urgently. So maybe Jem has his own strings to pull in the tower. This could have been his doing.
Could have. It would bear. It'd probably be a good idea to confirm. I don't think it could hurt to see if he's aware of where the source of information comes from, just to be safe.
Fair enough.
Because God forbid, God again, God damn it, Metri forbid,
Metri.
Metri forbid if we do Celestine's bidding with the power of 2 groups of great souls instead of 1 this time, and we just further this plot more. I don't know, ignorance led me down the wrong path last time, and that's what took me so long to reclaim my original oath. I think I just need to be a little more diligent this time around.
Give me a couple minutes to come up with something for him. I'll
Sure.
shoot him a message in a little bit.
Is it nearing evening, Aleutian, when we left?
I think it's getting later. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I
It's
mean,
probably
if you're
semi-dark outside.
if you're drafting a message, and you guys are probably committing this to memory, we could, Colcode and I, go pick up the items we requisitioned, and find a place where we can maybe create these rifles and set up I don't know, some kind of intimate place where we can discuss things further. I mean, doing it in this shop here doesn't seem like the safest idea.
Speaking of which, Coco, are you the one going to be doing the modifications, or was that a?
Yes, I am ready to build.
Okay, I'll hand you my rifle. In case if I bamf out. I'm not gonna risk
Oh,
it.
we haven't bought the stuff. Or it's all waiting at the.
Oh, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll still, for future reference, until it's modified, I'll give it to you.
We can go pick it up, come back here, but if you guys want to ask the shopkeep, or if you have anywhere in mind where, have a
Well,
group of ours. Sorry,
I-
go ahead.
I could always build it in Herald with a safe in there, and we could go through the books. As I said, I do have the big book on not only Skyfall, but portals and other planes. Some kind of information.
It's a couple days' journey outside of Soulsland.
Oh,
we're-
right. So used
we're-
to just traveling instantly.
I mean, it's a good idea. We're just going to want to make sure that everything is wrapped up here. I mean, we could always come back if need be, but we don't want to waste time.
No, yes, I will build here. I'm itching to get these rifles ready to go.
Excuse me, shopkeep?
You see the elderly man behind the counter look over, and he says, "Yes."
Hi, sir. This is a fine establishment, but we're looking for a place a little more intimate, maybe an inn that had some kind of private rec room and adjacent rooms for me and my guests here.
He gives you a knowing look and writes down something on a little piece of paper and hands it to you. And you can see an address for a different part of Soulsland here, and he's written down an inn of some kind.
Do I recognize it?
Go ahead and roll luck.
While he's rolling, the only place I can think of that you can't scry into here is Dr. Chow's basement.
19. We're not going back there. I'm not going to jail. 19.
I've been arrested enough this campaign.
God damn it.
Yeah.
He's handed you one for, it's called the Longhouse, and it's like a pretty big inn/restaurant, but it's one of like the larger ones. They probably have a rec room or something like that you could take.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
He gives you a smile and, kind of goes back to his work.
Tidge, are you nearing up? Are you almost done?
Oh, not even close. I've only just scratched the surface of this. I've still got a few hours left. But I'll take down the address and I'll meet you there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could even finish there unless you need materials here.
No, see, I'm not. I haven't bought this spell. So I have to stay here.
I see. Okay. Well, given the climate of things, are you comfortable being alone? I know you can handle yourself, but
I mean, I'll be fine here, I think. And then, where is this? Where's this other place? Is it really all that far away?
no. And I'll like mouth off directions or something.
Yeah, Edgar describes a place that's like 4 blocks away, kind of thing.
As long as there's no rogue Inquisition assholes out there somewhere, then I think I should be alright.
Yeah, that I can't promise.
The old man does the like rubs hands together kind of thing in the darkness.
You are in the Inquisition the whole time.
Picks up the phone. Move now.
I'm sure they have the equivalent of the Hitler Youth or something like this in Soulsland for sure. Everyone just recruited into it at a young age.
It wouldn't be D&D without the Hitler Youth.
They're given like a ceremonial dagger and told, always report what you see.
It's communist Russia.
Alright, well, look, we'll go pick everything up. We'll bring it to this longhouse. Hopefully they have some room. A private kind of common area just for us. And we'll get to work.
Alright, we'll see you guys in a few hours.
Sure.
Okay. With
Whoever
that,
has
you guys...
the,
Oh, what's up?
Whoever has that map, I'm staying with, and I'm peering over, and I'm
I
thinking
would
of
just-
a message for Jem.
I would leave it to Kalik just because I know Kalik can memorize basically everything because you got that feat of autism. So,
He has more dedicated wham than any of us could hope to get.
so I mean, Edgar wouldn't be interested if Kolko would want to keep it. That's up to him.
No, I think I'd be fairly confident I'd had it burned into my brain.
Okay. You guys
I'll give it back after I memorize it. So, for now, I'll peer over it.
If there's a way to create an encrypted document or something like that, I know I've heard of wizards being able to do it. We could create a copy of our own, but given how risky it seems, might be better to just keep it up here. And I point towards Mud.
Now, as you're leaving here, I would like you to make for me an intelligence roll, straight int, and you can do so with advantage, Kalik, because of your feet. Oh shit. Double ones.
One and a 2.
Is this to remember this map?
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Am I able to do this as a ranger?
Sure. You could just roll
Obviously not advantage, yeah.
a straight int
Straight.
check.
Straight int is a 20.
Okay.
Oh!
Not so.
Okay. While making your guys' way down the road, the map disappears.
Oh my...
So,
No, not again! No!
from the point of when you guys had first transformed it to now, you've probably had... Actually, come to think of it, it feels like almost exactly an hour, and then just... Whoosh, it's gone.
Edgar,
But-
I swear, it wasn't my fault.
Don't
I'm just-
worry, it's all up
I'm
here.
just shaking
I
my
got
head
this.
as I'm walking out. I'm just shaking my head as I'm walking out. Edgar thinks something happened here.
Kalik, you do, however, have a little, consolation, right? Which is that you remember this pretty well. And when you try to recall it in your head, you can picture the rooms and the layout and everything. Same with you, Colcoat, but if we were to have omniscient view, we would see that yours is more like just a bunch of random Lego bricks, and Kalik's is more like a conducive, so...
What kind of
guys.
fortress would you describe
Hey.
this as? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry about that. I completely forgot we had D&D, and I'm sick with straps, so that's a lot of fun.
I had that once. It's terrible, dude.
Yeah, no bueno.
I had that once.
What?
Are you lucky?
Oh, did you have it like a bunch of times?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say
It's
anything.
like
I've
every
never
year.
had it.
Yeah,
What?
I don't know as I've had it.
I have never had it once.
Don't shame me because your immune system blows ass, Ashley.
Wait! Spice!
You can't see it, but my hands are on my hips.
Open stream, open stream.
You wait on your finger.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
But the welcome back, Soup. We'll pop you in a second.
Alright.
Sorry, you said what kind of complex is it?
Yeah, judging by this blueprint, what kind of fortress? Would it be more of a fortress or just like a small keep or kind of more of a house or a manor? Or what scale are we talking?
How many bedrooms did it have?
How many square feet?
Would you say it's a Gothic or a Victorian or a Baroque style of architecture?
What kind of neighborhood's it
On
in?
the current market, how much is this worth?
How far is it from the bus stop?
What is the
I
walk-in
feel like-
score?
The walk-in score. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
How are the local schools?
The fortress is very, very peculiar, and it's unlike anything that you've actually seen before. It's recognizable as a fortress in that you can pick out like battlements and walls and stuff like that, but it's shaped very oddly. Inside you have regular rectangular rooms and long hallways and such, which is fine, even a small like surrounding bit of the landscape. But the really weird thing is about the fortress is it's shaped like a star. It's like a six-pointed star of some kind, like very angular, coming to a point sort of walls, which is really weird. Nobody really builds them like that.
Could I make a history check because I'm proficient in it? Like with my military background, if I could kind of narrow down what kind of architecture this is.
Sure, you could try.
Oof, that means I have to roll. I'm gonna roll the big guy. I've learned that size does matter. There we go. Okay.
That's the first lesson of tabletop.
That's a 15.
A 15. I would say with your military knowledge, you would know that this is a design that's actually been proposed by some of the members of the military. The problem is that it's very costly, and it's only kind of recently that people have talked about making fortresses like this. It was just assumed that eventually somebody would build one, but all of the cities here are like very old, so making updates to the walls and such requires an incredible amount of work, and while they've been doing well enough, it's more so the environment that comes after the cities than it is like invading armies, right? But it looks like from the depiction here that somebody has put this thing up, and that would also be another tip-off that this is a fortress that's not made to withstand the elements like hypex beasts and such, although it probably still would, but is more so set up to conquer an invading force.
So it looks like your typical star fort.
Yeah, which is atypical in this world.
Right, okay.
Because you just don't need it to keep out hypex beasts and stuff.
Okay.
Shortly after that document vanishes, I'll snap my finger and send a message to Jem saying, Jem, gained valuable info connecting Chow to a keep in the Shadowvale. They have the ingredients prepared for the ritual. Fortress shaped like a star. Love, Edgar. That's 25.
I thought you were going to say...
How
"Well,
did you
Edgar."
not mention the crazy wax man that gave us the information?
Because I didn't meet him.
God damn. I mentioned
Love
it too.
Edgar.
Oh my god. Oh, fucking anxious. We're gonna get fucked. I'm gonna say, just like Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, a totoso. A fucking a totoso.
To get gooder and stuff. And to
Okay.
gooder up the place.
Well, I'm already outside, unfortunately, heading to the blacksmith with Colt Coat, so.
Okay. The message is sent off, and Jem replies, and I'd like you to roll straight luck, please, whoever's got the die.
Ashley,
Is that me?
Ashley, do not roll it towards me, please.
Whee!
You fucking...
You two, what the fuck? Do you have like Flintwater, Michigan level water over there? What's fucking your rolls up that bad? God damn it.
Jem responds, and he simply says back to you, very good.
I'll just be confused walking.
I hate you so much.
Okay. Meanwhile, let's see here. Erlebald, you pop in, and it's while the group is already kind of split up. Colcoat and Edgar, you guys are headed to the blacksmith. Was it?
Yes,
Yep.
get our stuff.
So we got the 3 over here that are headed towards the longhouse, and Tidge is back at the shop. Erlebald, you pop in next to Edgar and Colcoat while they're seemingly wandering through the city. It's getting a little later, but there's still plenty of people outside and whatnot.
Hello, Earl. Glad you're back.
Very cool code.
Just in time to help us carry all our stuff from the shop.
That sounds wonderful. I'll just help right now.
You don't look too good.
I'm trying.
I looked at Cold Coat, unsure if I should tell Earl. I'll kind of just lean in and whisper to him. Do we tell him that the dart isn't on this plane?
Yeah, he can take it. Although he'll want to go to that fortress and get
Right.
it back.
Earl, it's possible that your golden dart, well, it's definitely not on this plane of existence, and it's possible it's being used in a ritual that might consume it.
How did we determine this?
We went to the Eldritch Tower and employed the services of a professional scryer who looked for the golden dart. He did confirm that others had asked him for this information before and were unsuccessful. And he was able to find Mr. Chow in another plane. So we're hoping that the golden dart is with him.
Well, at least we still know who we're chasing. But that complicates things.
It does. I know you're fond of it, but like you said, at least we have a plan of attack.
I can be patient. Something I've chased all my life. Just a temporary setback. Won't mean too much.
Alright. I know with this Great Soul business, it's been a little hectic keeping track of everything. I want to make sure you knew that.
Thank you.
Now, along the way here, your divergent group eventually gets to their destinations. You guys pop by the blacksmith as it's much later, and having prepaid for everything, you're handed the gear, which I think included a whole bunch of different parts, as well as a newly updated shield, that sort of thing. Meanwhile, the other group has made their way through the city and gets to the longhouse. And if you guys want to rent out the like a large rec room here, you can. It doesn't look like it's booked, but it is 2 gold a night. You won't need to rent any rooms though. You can simply sleep there if you wish, as there are facilities and everything. So that falls to Arillo, God damn it, Annabelle and Kalik to decide if they want to do that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So somebody hands over 2 gold, and you guys are given the keys to the room there. This this large open space with a conference style table and all that, and plenty of like free room to do whatever. And as for you guys, having picked up all the groceries and recently picked up a dart thrower from across the ether, are you headed back to the longhouse?
I would have asked for the blacksmith guys to help me put on my plate.
Sure.
And now I have my arrow catching shield with holy symbol in it. Yeah, I'd be just hauling everything with Erlebald and Colcoat here.
Okay. The plates are laid on top of your padded cloth and all, and before long you're all suited up and ready to go. And you guys head back. And I would say same for you, Tidge. You do eventually finish up here as the night gets a little bit further on. And the wizarding fellow behind the counter inspects to make sure that you haven't damaged any of the scrolls or used them by accident during the inscribing, and then takes them back and you're sent off on your way. and you guys all meet up here in this meeting room of some kind, with all the space and how should I put it? Privacy you could hope for, aside from anti-scrying or anything like that.
A couple of us do still have the necklaces for
Yeah,
it. But
I have one.
I have one. But
Well,
that's
let's get
okay.
to it. I'm gonna spread out all the parts and immediately jump in and start working on them, on the guns.
Okay.
I really don't want him to fuck up, so I'm gonna enhance ability for. Would this be more intelligence or dex?
Deck. Right?
The D, yeah.
Okay, then I'll give him dex.
Oh, thank you. This will be.
Give
Well,
him a
I'll try not to mess it up.
Which one is that? Because there's an animal with each one, right? Which is the...
Oh,
Is it Cat's Grace?
Cat's Grace, I think.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Coldcoat. You can make a Tinkerer's roll there to update your rifle. And what were you hoping to update this to again?
So we're building the.
You were putting the scope on it too, weren't you?
So yeah, I'm building the better rifles, putting bayonets on them, and then I'm trying to put the eyeglass into a scope of mine.
Okay. So you can go ahead and make that roll to see if you're successful. The first roll will be for updating them and putting the bayonets on them. If you,
What does that Cat's Grace give me?
advantage.
Advantage on dex checks.
Oh, sweet. And so that is with. How do we do this again? Is that with proficiency in Dex? Because I'm
Yeah.
proficient with Tinkers. Oh no.
Oh!
Uh oh. That's terrible.
Wait, is that cock?
What? No, none of them are cocked.
Nah,
Oh my god, you just...
Oh.
they're pretty.
Feels bad.
All right, well that is an 8.
An 8. Okay. You are updating these from being crude rifles to being proper ones, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
was attempting to.
Attempting to. You managed to do so. However, fixing bayonets proves to be near impossible, and every attempt that you make to do them ends in failure, with you almost breaking some of the parts, in fact. And by the time that you're done with it, you think that that's just not gonna work. These weapons here, though conceivably could be set up that way, were never meant for it, and you're having a hard time doing so. At least you didn't break anything. They are considered normal rifles though now, so if it was a D10 damage before, it's a D12, etc. But you can't give them any melee capabilities.
Kalik, I'm sorry, I couldn't get the knife on. Just have to stab them with our hands.
When Kalik, or sorry, when Colcoat faces you, Kalik, you can see the remaining parts in his hands. There's like a little spring between one of the fingers, and perhaps more importantly, you see one of the bayonet knives here. It's like bent out of shape.
Maybe not with this.
I'll tap him on the shoulder and be like, "It's okay.
But your rifle's done.
Maybe one day."
I think I just need a different knife. We'll go back to the mental planet one day. That'll help me out.
That's where you guys are supposed to go when it's time for the war crimes.
But here you go. It at least has been upgraded. I hope
Thank
you
you.
kill many foes with it.
I hope I do as well.
Okay, Cold, let's stop screwing around.
And as soon as he turns around, I want to make sure he didn't break the thing.
And even though I did so miserably with my rolls, can I attempt to screw up my magic item?
Yeah, do so.
Good luck, friendo. Oh, there you go.
All right, that's better.
Much better.
That was the important one.
That you can put a blade inside the telescope.
Okay. affixing this magical item to the rifle proves to be a little bit difficult at first, but you do eventually solve it. And with a little bit of ingenuity and some spare metal, you line the thing up. The true problem comes with getting it set up so that it, views where you're going to shoot. But you do eventually figure that out. And before long, you've created a rifle that comes with the ability to see pretty far down the range. It's going to be no longer really usable for iron sights because of just how magnified this thing is. But you can collapse it because it's a magical item, and then that seems to solve the problem. The new properties of the rifle, though, are perhaps the best, and the range on it is going to be, what is it? It's normally 600, I think, for the maximum.
40. No, it's only 40, 120.
40, 120?
Yep.
Oh, okay. The range on it now is double that. But perhaps more importantly, it crits on a 19 or a 20.
Oh, sweet.
That's a big
Very
play
nice.
right there.
Beyond that, if you want, you can use the rifle to scout out further areas, and things that would be otherwise difficult to see for your group, far off distances and such, can now be peered at using the gun.
Well, I may not be much for the knives, but got the magic item in it. Okay, we must find more magical items to augment our guns.
Augment everything. I'll pull out my Tinker's tool. And attempt to... No, I can't do it.
Do it!
Do it.
No,
Do
Do
it.
it.
Do it.
I don't have anything to affix to this gun.
That's what you think. Someone's got a magical
Except
item.
another gun! Wait, I
Wow.
have a pistol.
I didn't tell you guys, but I did go out in the dead of night, find the wasp with the sovereign stone, and we can put it in that gun. I think it would be great.
Wasp bullets.
I mean, with our luck, the gun would turn into a deadly transformer that commits genocide, so let's not do that.
It might be useful for snakes.
Surely you have magical items you can put on your gun, Kalik.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Endless water.
Yeah.
Just like a...
Meteor,
You just made a super soaker.
meteor swarm?
Oh, very nice.
Oh man. Shoot a bullet or wipe out of town.
Mm-mm. Alright, well, I'm fully equipped. What else did we have here? We had silvered bullets. You guys could distribute that as you wish. We ordered 10 of them. And we do have 3 powder bombs as well. I figure whoever doesn't have the opportunity to inflict some area damage could get one. Someone like Arillo. I don't know who else. But here you go. I just kind of gently put them down on the table.
Rillo will grab one.
Okay.
Thank you, Edgar.
No problem. Annie?
Sure.
Rillo just thinking that's a ball.
Alright, who else doesn't really have any tricks up their sleeve?
Midway
many,
through a
but I would-
daydream, you wake Annie from her staring at the wall by giving her an explosive.
At least I don't have to
Do I
bless her
do
with
I
that.
know what this does?
Yeah, it's a grenade, basically.
Right. Yeah, he handed it to me, but do I even know what it is?
Yeah, you would know what that is, given that you have people in your group who have powder rifles and stuff.
All right.
Just
perfect.
stay far away from it when it goes off. Yeah.
Hey, Kalik, wanna play a game of catch?
Shaking my head.
Arilla, don't make me take that back.
SMH.
Okay, what are we doing? Because we had a couple of plans when we got to Solsland. Arillo, your temple was there.
Yes.
The Snake Temple down south, or the city of Wanti, was on one of our discussed targets. That being said, we now have the blueprint to a massive fortress occupied by Mr. Chow, so we might not have the opportunity to do anything else once we get there.
Well, as far as the Wanti go, once Mr. Chow and other things of more precedence have been taken care of, then we can go and blow them all up. It can be put on the back burner for now. But their
Okay.
destruction is inevitable.
I look at what I can just imagine as an angry cat, like like raising its paw and be like crushing it.
That's the final solution.
Okay, so that leaves us with... I mean, my affairs aren't exactly taken care of for the Lyle estate, but the Lyle estate isn't going anywhere, and it seems that the Inquisition is on my side with regards to getting my name back in good graces, so that's no longer a priority for me. We have Arillo's temple, we have this estate now that we need to attack, or rather, this castle, I should say. You know, by the way, this is... Fortress, sure. It's kind of an experimental design, though. I mean, I've seen overeager generals talk about this, the military applications, that kind of thing. I mean, at the end of the day, it costs a fortune, but I only ever thought it was a theoretical thing. I never heard of it being built anywhere. So I don't know if we're going to get any success finding it in the physical plane, but I guess if anyone could help us, your ship could.
I would hope so.
Can he go to the Shadowfell?
Oh yes, we can go anywhere. Like I said, we are on an entirely new world made out of metal that had gooey black water in the ground.
And mushroom people.
No, that's in Vossenox.
Oh.
Apparently, below.
Mushroom people?
Yes, we must kill them to make fuel.
Right. Okay. Do they just look like mushrooms then?
I haven't actually seen them. But I've only been told of them, and that they could be used for a fuel source. I can't imagine they look very nice. I mean, mushroom people? That sounds kind of weird. They live in the Underdark or somewhere close to it.
If you need them for fuel, you should stop referring to them as people.
I haven't met them, I
Stop.
just know they need to be exterminated.
Stop humanizing them.
Not all of them. We need them around as a continual fuel source.
Oh.
It's like those vampire movies where they just keep human bodies.
Would you say it's a camp of sorts?
We are going
To help them concentrate.
Could you throw them?
Would
Maybe.
you say they're focused and or concentrated in an area that could or could not be a camp?
Sorry, Twitch.
I'm not.
No way.
Never forget.
The mushroom
Okay.
people.
Well, I mean, if they're creatures, it's something to explore in the future for sure. You said we had how many jumps approximately with that thing?
I believe the worst case sounds like about 4. So even if we did 1 or 2 and then went back to Vossenox to refuel, should work.
Right, so we have to kill mushroom people to get more jumps. Is that what we're going for?
Creatures, mushroom creatures.
Yes, and then we can refuel and go anywhere in the world we want.
What you don't realize is I've weaved an intricate Goomba stomping joke into the fabric of this story.
Hoopla!
Right. So, how many mushroom people fuel this ship?
Whoop!
How many do you have?
I'm
to
not
kill?
sure what
What's
the
the
ratio is.
ratio? Mushroom creature
God.
to jump.
Dominic,
Well,
you appear next
good
to
part-
everybody. It looks like they're in a long room of sorts, like a big rec room. There's a bunch of like bunk beds and things like that. A big table they're gathered around, and you can see, Colcoat's working on like a gun of his, just polishing things up, and other people are, looking over papers and such. There's like a big meeting going on when you reappear.
I have
And
a
I'm
bomb.
saying you just never hello. Hey, how's everyone doing? Sorry.
Yes, you see, the gas is the smallest ingredient, so we probably don't have to kill all that many.
Oh, my goodness. Perfect. Wonderful. When are
Yeah,
we
see,
getting to
yes,
play?
Dominic knows.
So you know that you have to use corpses and not like actual living ones.
That's fine.
Let's go grave digging.
I've written all about it in this book I've titled My Plan.
So
Sounds
I
like
just
making-
figured once we destroyed all the 1T, we could, bring them all into the ship and turn them into the essence.
Okay, I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. So you
Right,
said
so
we have.
snake
we have-
people work too.
Well, there's another part of it, and I think any kind of dead person works.
Well, let's go kill someone and test it out.
Just mass suffering is used to fuel this machine.
All right, back on track. We got 4 jumps. Worst case scenario, the ship is outside of Solsland, a few days ride.
God damn.
We now have, you're saying, enough description on the fortress itself to guide Harold there?
Potentially.
Potentially.
Potentially. Okay. So what's on the docket then? We have Arillo's Temple, which, I mean, I know Catman Robotics doesn't necessarily have a horse in that race. And
No,
you
let's
guys-
go there. I want to see the temple too.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
A
always
temple full
interested
of
in
big guys like this? That sounds like it's a fun place.
I'm looking genuinely surprised at everyone. Okay. Well,
And if it's
Arillo-
a bad decision, then we make terrible decisions all the time. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yes, to correct one bad decision that you rushed into, you just rush into a possible solution. And eventually,
Exactly.
you rush into the right thing.
eventually.
More or less.
All right. Okay. Well, that's good. At least we have a clear plan. So Arillo, good news, buddy. We'll be going north on a one-way express ticket to your temple. That way, the sky stops screaming at us,
It is still
And,
storming outside.
and then with one jump, we can maybe go to the Shadowfell if we feel like we're prepared for that, and we'll still have a jump to go back to Vossonix.
Yes, that we kill some mushrooms and we can go anywhere. Then
Exactly.
kill the 1T, kill the
Yeah.
weird mechanical things that attacked us on the metal place.
I feel like you've accumulated a lot of targets here.
We've been very
It's
busy.
fine.
Now,
All right.
if we are we sieging this fortress, or are we trying to get up and over it, or find another discreet way in, or
Sieging a fortress like that with the amount of people we have would be suicide. Well, it would definitely have to be an opportunity where we can get in there first.
I think infiltration is our
Mm-hmm.
best bet.
after studying those plans, would there be any like standout spot that might be, I don't know, beneficial to?
Oh, like a weaker.
Best
Yeah.
point of
Yeah.
access.
Yeah, like every star fortress is built with this one secret entrance
Yep,
in
there's-
the middle.
There's this one little exhaust port, and if you shoot an arrow down it, the whole thing fucking goes up in flames. No, looking at it, you can recall it pretty well, and the images are still very vivid in your mind, and you're disheartened by the fact that it's very uniform in how it's built, and it doesn't actually look like there's really a weak point to it. Any way that you approach the fort, the thing is just very well defended, and people would see your approach from miles away. On top of that, the little bit of scenery around it depicts like a forest and then a rising hillside that leads up to the thing, which makes life even more complicated. If there's one entry that seems to be best, though, it looks like if you could circumvent the walls altogether by, let's say, flying or something like that, you might have a chance. But approaching up towards the thing, you're very likely to be spotted, and they're going to have advantage, firing on you guys when you try to get up there, no matter which way you come from it.
We can always drop an atomic bomb on it.
There may be, like, let's say, underground options or something like that aren't depicted on the map, but right now, approaching the walls conventionally from any side looks like a bad idea. Though, then again, sometimes bad ideas work out.
It's a good idea, actually. We could even drop it on one side and maybe sneak in on another.
But that means we can't kill some snake people.
Well,
We also don't really know what is in there. There could be prisoners or not evil people. See, we know snakes are all evil, so it's okay to destroy them.
I agree. I mean, I don't know enough about the Shadowfell to know if there even is good there. So I think after Arillo's temple, we'll need to study the Shadowfell more, using the ship if we can. Investigate who has the capability of creating such a fort in any plane, really. And who's working with Chow, because I doubt it was him that erected the thing. If we can determine that, I mean, how likely do you think it is that Harold can bring us directly in the fort?
Before his sensors were damaged, very likely. With them damaged, much less likely. But still possible.
Is repairing them possible? Is that more likely than us finding another way into that fort?
Now
Harold puts it
did-
as extremely impossible.
Oh.
Yes, there could be some repairs, but not to the full capacities that he had before.
What if you know exactly where we need to go? Can you tell him that? And then, like, if we find this fortress ahead of time, like he brings us somewhere different, then you figure out where we need to go, and then can Harold bring us in from there?
There is always still the margin of error.
I mean, it's another jump, and the last thing I think we'd want is to be without a way to get back from the Shadowfell.
Yes, that would not be good to be stranded in the shadow.
Okay, so at
Shadowfell,
least...
we're speaking of going to the Shadowfell. Sorry, I
Oh, no, it's fine. Coal Code and I went to, I believe Arilla was there too, actually. We went to go get some information from the tower, and we hired a scryer, a professional one, and he could find neither the dart nor Mr. Chow on this plane, but he was very insistent about searching other planes.
Interesting.
Yeah, we were a little reticent, to be honest with you. He was wearing a mask. He was feigning a hunch. He wore this kind of waxy film over his hands to disguise, I guess, his ethnicity or his age. He wore scarlet robes. He referred to us as mercenaries. There was a talk of sword and shield. I believe the former was something Celestine referred to you guys as.
Mercenaries, yes.
It's overall just very bizarre. I mean, at the very end, he smuggled us this paper that was encrypted, or rather the information was hidden, and he didn't even charge us for his services afterwards. So I don't really know what to tell you. All we know is we got a map that self-destructed, and lo and behold, we have the blueprints of a fortress and the location of Mr. Chow, so we think.
Do you think it could have been the head of the college, the school? He had mentioned before that he couldn't help us. But if he had disguised himself,
People in the tower might want that Mr. Chow gone too. He's not really giving them a good name.
No, the college especially, but I mean, if you think about it, that information isn't well known. I mean, all we have right now are rumors, or the uneducated, all they have are rumors about a student missing right around the time Mr. Chow disappeared. And that's about it. And now people might know that we were snooping around his house, but other than that, whether it's the college or the Inquisition putting a squeeze on the school, that's possible. But I don't think Mr. Chow's deception is exactly public knowledge. Either way, we have a lot of considerations, but one thing's clear: we have enough fuel to get to Arillo's temple. After that, we have a lot of different decisions to make, but we don't need to make them now or here.
while we're sitting around, I'll go ahead and create 45 pounds of cheese.
No,
God
no.
damn. Craft singles again.
Okay. With that, I think we'll take our quick little 5-10 minute break here. And we'll be back in a few.
At least make pasta.
No, just craft
No,
singles. That's
the
it.
cheese works.
Fine, you know.
What does that do to your intestines?
We just gotta bring
God.
it to the sewers. Oh, I guess not the sewers anymore. To the Underdark, and you can get bit by a were-rat, and
Then you'll understand.
Join us.
Then you'll
Join
know our
us.
pain.
I mean, is there like a mac and cheese were-rat? Rather than just cheese?
I
Italian
don't think
were-rat?
so. Not that we
Goddamn.
saw.
Oh,
There's a couple different rats that bit us. Seems just cheese in general. I was very close. I was almost were-rat.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was
Like I
about
had almost
to be-
completely changed.
I was ready
It's
to
about
do
to
a
be
race
Batman.
change on him and everything.
Did
It
you
was
have to
fun.
get like a cure curse or?
Yeah, we had something that we purchased, and we had to give it to me, and then fight like a rat spirit to like cleanse it. But we
It was
so we had to
awesome,
roll
dude.
to like have it do wisdom saves and stuff to
That's
not
fucking
get taken
sweet.
over.
They
So I failed
exorcismed
one.
the rat spirit out of him and then beat up the spirit.
Oh, we were right outside of our shop about to do it, and then I fail my wisdom save, and I'm almost a rat. It's like Solution's like, yeah, you kind of like being a rat now, like. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to go in there. Maybe we just stay out here. Maybe this isn't so bad.
We wound up forcing it down your throat.
Yeah, they had to wrestle me in and make me drink it.
Yeah, we had this. He almost fully became it purely for the fact that we like had this second of like, wait, is this all right that we're doing this? Yeah, fuck it.
Trying to get your dog to swallow pills.
Oh, that's so sad. I've been having to do that for my dog. It's so sad.
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
get some coffee.
god,
Yeah.
trying to feed medicine to pets.
Fuck, speaking of mac and cheese, I might make some Katie.
I had a cat with asthma that had to have an inhaler twice a day, and she was the best about it. She would run to my lap and sit there for it every time.
That's
I wish
awesome.
my cat would do that. Oh my god.
Yeah, mine
Trying to-
just aren't eating right now, which is great because I think their food bag wasn't like stored properly, so now it's all kind of stale.
Mm.
Yeah, now they're just being fucking assholes and picky eaters. So
Won't stop eating. They're big
My
fat
cat.
pigs.
Brought my cat to the animal hospital last Friday, and figured out that she had like a UTI going on, and she was pissing on everything but her fucking litter box.
Ugh.
It's gross. She still does it too. She's like 4 months old too.
oh no.
So breaking her from that habit's gonna be fun. But like,
At least you
I
should be
just
able
got-
to. She's still young.
yeah, I just got paid that day and it was like $286. And I have to give her medication every day, twice a day.
Yeah, I just took them both in to get the year-old vaccines and then to just finally get a checkup on them just because I was worried about them not eating. And the bill was $210. And I was like, oh, yay. I
They're
also
not
have
Yeah,
to
it's
go.
insane how expensive it is.
Like, I have to go also do maintenance on my car. And I just paid for insurance for the year. Oh, God. Christmas.
Damn.
What the
Yep.
fuck?
December just become a bad month.
Like, all right, birthday money. You're getting everything that I got is being pawned. What little I got extra is now being put towards this.
Time to sell the house I just bought. Oh man,
So table talk. Are we just hoofing it to the temple?
How far away is it?
it's in the middle of nowhere.
Harold. Let's take her.
It's like right here.
One more time. Oh, hey, that's near my house.
Hey, we can visit your house.
No, let's not.
We already did. We read some books.
It's
That's
either
good.
there or here. It's in one of those two islands. I think it might be that one actually.
Winter's Heart.
I know we're relatively close to it.
At one point.
I think we still are pretty close.
What are you
Oh, yeah,
talking
it's on
about?
the map there. Winter's Heart. It's right there.
I'm not sure if that's it or not. I was just
Oh,
saying it.
So now I just want to make a character that's from like the extreme north, and it's just like, oh, you're cold. Well, guess what it's like where I'm from.
it was kind of like that last one. I was a Goliath in episode 1, and it was all snowy, and I was like, I don't care. I walked around shirtless.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Kind
a
of like what,
Goliath through now.
That was a white Dragonborn side resistance. It's nice.
it's all
I'm
about
currently
it.
wearing my Aldrin hat right now.
I was a halfling in the last campaign. I was buried by snowdrifts.
Just
Yep.
pick you up.
You're buried.
Now I'm
by
a gnome in this campaign.
Nice.
Just went with all the short people.
Hells
What's
yeah.
what's with your affinity for short people?
I don't know. It's
Well,
funny thinking of a party leader, well, quote unquote party leader, that's shorter than everybody else. He's only 3 foot tall. I think.
Damn, you tiny.
Hells yeah. Lotho was even shorter. I don't
Gnomes are
even remember
pretty
how tall he was. I think it was like 2'7" or something.
Aldrin was like 4 feet tall, but constantly drunk and smelled bad.
So bad.
You called through a poop cave.
Well, you know, somebody's got to do it, and you guys weren't going to do it, so.
Could have gone out the way we came. We did go out the way we came. You crawled through a poop cave.
That was like my first session.
Yeah, it was.
First or second.
Oh, the good old days.
Rip.
I'm excited for this walk back to the ship. Oh, 3 days
That's-
walk. Yeah, I can get. I'll roll three injury dice.
Now imagine we had the puzzle box where I could just vector steed my way there while you guys chill in the fucking deluxe
Study.
suite with a dead robot.
Defender.
Oh
Dash
man, I
one.
missed Defender Dash 1. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, he's parts now.
Yeah. Oh man, they totally scrapped him.
What does this do? Oh, okay, that's what that did. Oh well.
Where did you guys kill him?
We didn't kill him. It's in order to release Death from its prison that a June put him in. There was a robot that was part of like a ritual binding spell, and in order to break the ritual and release Death, the robot kind of had to die. So
Death
we-
killed him.
yeah, we kind of had
You're
to get
still
rid of him.
responsible for his death, though, right?
Yeah, yes, which is why we kept him.
It's okay. It's okay
and
to kill things.
We wanted to bring
You
him
could've
back to
lost stuff.
Vossonix and revive him,
Oh, that
because
would
we
have
heard
been sick.
that was possible, but the Inquisition stole our shit like a bunch of punk ass bitches. And
Yeah.
Oh, because he was in the box, right?
yeah, we were
Plus, we're
getting
like
he was
allergic to
super
money.
heavy.
That sucks losing that box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those things can be so useful. Like, oh, we got so
Especially when it's a
sidetracked last
tiny
episode
one.
in a freaking box.
I mean, like, the boxes I'm sure could be as much a pain in the ass as a help, but like this one was a small private library. That's all it was. So you could put
Oh
a
my God.
mattress in there, like it was perfect. And there was
A
like
mattress.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
courtesy of Annie over.
And you put a mattress in there.
I remember watching that. A mattress.
A
Whilst
mattress worth
very
5
drunk.
days in jail.
I mean, yeah, it gave us extra time in the can. So thanks for
Haha.
that.
We used ours to travel
You know
last
what?
episode.
It
'cause
would
of
have
the
been
cold.
great. It would have been like the best like slumber party place ever. Just
No, it would have been
it
good.
was
We
so
used ours like
cozy.
that. We put
And
3
then
people in the box.
everybody
Yeah.
fucked it up.
Maybe we'll get it back. Find another
Every-
one.
Everybody fucked it up, she says. Meanwhile, she was screaming like a banshee, so all the neighbors
I was
could hear
in
and
the
called
box,
the cops.
alright?
No. Before that, I had to put you in a hold person just to get you to stop talking for like 30 seconds. It was terrible.
I don't know. I don't think that went off. You tried to cast sleep, but it just knocked Tidge
No,
out.
I cast sleep
Yeah.
and then I cast hold person successfully. I do remember, but
I knew it was gonna happen to you. I'm
I-
gonna cast sleep, and I was like, "Fuck."
I keep doing that. Like when I tried to put the bandits to sleep, Aleutian was like, "Yeah, the horses all pass out." I was like, "Fuck." God damn.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess can't you technically choose, or is it just whatever creature?
I only
Switch to
choose a
lowest
radius.
HP.
I only choose a radius, and then it's lowest HP within that radius.
Oh man. That was good though.
Yeah, but okay, so would a drunk person be quiet? Let's be honest.
Why were you
No.
drunk during a house break-in?
Oh, now you know what kind of thief we're dealing with. Broken lock picks. God damn it.
Time to take a sip.
Why
from this
was I
flask.
drunk again? I don't know. Oh, we went to the
It was
bar
the-
first.
We're drinking with the college
That's right, and I got completely shit-faced
You
because
were-
I
you
rolled
were-
a nat 1.
Yeah, and you were
Yup.
cradle robbing some kid who was definitely not 18.
Okay.
Yeah, he was...
Aleutian, Aleutian confirmed, definitely not 18.
Are you guys
Pimple
talking
face
about that
kid.
time Ashley was thinking about
Case in point.
Yeah. Ow.
somebody can insert a Chris Hansen clip?
Take a seat.
We'll start in a minute here. I'm just grabbing a bite of something real quick. There are apparently tacos upstairs.
Oh
Shit.
boy.
Jealous.
Taco.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Bay.
Why can I have fajitas?
Vaginas.
Vaginas are so good.
Fajitas.
Especially if you can get some jalapenos.
Oh, I love the jalapeno.
Nope,
Oh, yeah.
no hiccups for me.
Mike dared me to eat a whole jalapeno one time,
It's pretty fun.
and I had the most aggressive hiccups I've ever had in my
Oh,
life.
I thought you were gonna say
Like, I
aggressive
thought I was
diarrhea.
Aren't jalapenos not even that hot? I felt like
They're not, but it's like
They're
it was
pretty
fresh.
low on the Scoville scale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have like stuffed jalapenos. I mean, granted, they're stuffed with cream cheese, so that kind of
Yeah.
counteracts any.
Yeah, they take the
And
seeds
if you
out though,
cook them,
so
yeah.
Oh, was it
Spices.
cooked? Because if it's
Me?
raw, they're pretty
No, I
hot.
didn't. Yeah, I
No,
ate
you
a
have
raw
to get
one.
the seeds in there. That's where all the spice is.
Yeah. No,
I ate
it
a
was
raw
a raw
one.
jalapeno he ate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that shit's pretty
It
hot.
was pretty funny.
Because when you cook it,
Yeah,
it
Mike
breaks
was
down the
eating
whatever the
mine.
fuck
Capsaicin.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I was making jalapeno poppers. Adlin left. I was like, here, eat it.
I remember basically
Rip.
making low-key pepper spray in my place when I was cooking up a steak and I was frying up onions and chopped up jalapenos. And then my eyes started like burning in the other room. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I went back and like, yeah, I made mild pepper spray in a pan. Congratulations.
Have you seen what is it? It's like
Just
those
whoops.
guys that make like the really spicy curry and they do it with like gas masks on and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to have that experience? You're going to the army, right? You're gonna get to go to the gas hut. Oh yeah,
It's gonna be a good time.
it's gonna be fun. Hopefully you do what I did, which is you get told well in advance, look, before you get in the room, you're gonna feel it. Close your eyes then, walk in,
Oh, that's
Blink-
cheating.
blink very quickly to look at the instructor. They'll, tell you to put the gas mask on. You wipe your face with the sponge, put the gas mask on, take it off, change the filter, wipe your head again, put the gas mask on, and then you can go line up with the rest of your buddies. Well, I walked right in with my eyes wide open, totally forgetting. And oh yeah, putting the gas mask on while I was just fucking pain crying for 30 seconds was real fun.
Like fluids you don't even recognize are coming out of your nose.
Dude. And then your mask is on and you're supposed to check Buddy's filter, but you're just like a sobbing mess, basically. So you have to go with your hands, you're just like, yeah, that's not on well, and then you like it starts hurting more and you realize the threading on your filter isn't in properly. So you're just breathing in more shit, basically. It's such a good time.
That sounds like so much fun though. Like I'm sure
It
it's
is.
terrible, but you guys probably giggle about it forever afterwards.
Well, yeah, and then like we go eat, and then the next wave comes in, and like the wind like happens to like fucking do a wanted curve towards where we're eating, and then we just get another wave of like, oh god, your clothes has like weeks after, dude. I would pull out a piece of kit that I didn't think was contaminated.
Yeah.
And it would be like, I don't know, like my waterproof jacket that I had that I didn't need to use. And boom, got fucking knocked on my ass again. Good times.
What do they use?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
they
don't know.
don't
They
tell you.
they basically put pills in a pan. Well, no, it's not a not tell you thing. It's I don't know thing.
Mhm.
But they basically open up a pill of some kind in a pan, cook it, and then the gases start.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of.
I think it's just like whatever tear gas the military uses. I forget what they told us at the time, but
Mhm.
I was just crying too much.
I used to have to wear hazmat suits for doing demolition and shit, so I'm sure it'll be a blast from the past.
Wait, Aleutian, you're going into the military?
Oh yeah. You didn't know that?
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
That's why I'm getting
No, I
my eye surgery and everything.
Oh, holy shit.
Did you say that's how you're getting it, or that's why you're getting
No,
it?
that's why I'm getting it. I know that they could potentially cover that later on, but I'm just gonna pay for it out of pocket.
I don't know if they would let you in if your vision is as bad. Well, no, I had some guys in basic wear glasses and contacts, so
Yeah, I think you can correct it. That's fine. I just don't want to have to deal with that. Like wearing glasses while like crawling under, wire or some shit just sounds terrible.
okay, we're not the fucking Spetsnaz, all right? You're not gonna have to crawl under one.
Well, like how far do you go up before they start having you do that shit? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. Probably, I mean, fairly high. I
Like-
guess you didn't really have to do it for DP1 either.
yeah, but like
Which is
recon
weird.
for CSOR or something, I bet you they fucking run you through that shit.
Yeah, but I mean, for CSOR, you're gonna be 5 years in probably.
hmm
So don't worry about it. But anyways, I could see, you just don't want to have to deal with that shit.
It just seems like such a pain.
Yep.
When Fortunate Son starts playing, that's when you have to worry about it.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
Who? That red,
Oh.
white, and blue. That's what it is.
I don't know why, but when you said red, white, and blue, I instantly saw that picture in my mind of the Toby Keith album. It's like, Gadur, Gadur, Gadinger.
I don't know what that is.
Here, let me...
Sleef Erickson Day.
How
There it
late do
is.
we go till on Tuesdays?
We're gonna run
like
for
11.
another hour and 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, usually the limiting factor is Soup, but he's not here.
Soup's not here. Did he fall over while I was on?
He must
yeah,
have.
I think he left a while ago.
He got deaded.
He's
Oh,
disappeared.
no.
He got deaded.
Like, he wasn't here when I was here.
Really?
Yeah.
He just turned to be. Oh, Earl. There it was Dominic.
I mean, he's online, but I don't know where he went.
So he just got strapped. So maybe
Yeah, I think he was just.
In copious amounts of pain.
Probably dead. It's up.
Maybe you didn't
He'll
want
be
to
alright.
interrupt.
Damn, I can't find the picture. I'll show it later. I'm ready to go though, if you guys are.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There in the meeting room, you guys go over the possible avenues of attack and try to decide what it is to do next. And during that time, Railabald once more disappears. What do you guys want to do?
Gonna make our way back to Harold, right?
Yep.
Okay. The long walk begins, and you guys make your way out into the stormy streets. I assume, do you guys sleep here for the night, or do you just go right away?
I
Probably
would
makes
sleep,
sense.
I guess, right?
Yeah, okay.
paid.
It's
Right.
Yeah.
pretty late, isn't it?
So having paid for the room, you guys tuck in for the night, and then the next day decide to head out. So you all get a long rest. If anybody's injured, now's the time to roll.
I'll cast a. Who's injured?
So
That was
close.
very close.
That's the
Oh,
closest you've ever been.
Christ, my
I'll
ear
cast.
balls.
Dax, I'll cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds on you so you can try again.
Very nice. Roll
He
again.
cries. I'm gonna roll a 19, just a 19, just a straight 19.
What?
How did you say
that, that actually happens a lot at this table. I don't know why, but
Why am I the shock howler?
yeah. Okay. So the next day starts, and you guys are all good to go. You're provided meals as part of your renting of this room here, and you guys have a breakfast and then presumably head out. It's still overcast the next day, and the weather is once again garbage as you make your way into the muddy streets. And with the occasional thunderous roar off in the distance, you set out and pass the gate, making your way outside of Solsland to travel towards the estate, where Harold should hopefully still be waiting. Along the way, I need a luck roll, however.
I would like to find the largest puddle along the way and just jump in both feet.
Okay.
It disappears.
And splash everyone.
Okay.
My goal.
Playing in the water every now and then, and pausing the group caravan so that Annabelle can have her fun, you guys do eventually make it over towards the estate. But along the way, there is trouble. You're not ambushed by people on the road or anything like that, but you guys do time skip. And then the time skip happens again, and then again. And each time it's recognizable, but over the space of what in real time appears to be just a couple of days to finally get to the estate, you guys skip 3 times, not knowing exactly how much time has passed. All you know is that after all the skips and after the 2 days of travel, it's still stormy and bad outside, and the estate still looks deserted.
How many days was that again?
2, so you can make another 2 injury rolls.
Come on!
If it makes you feel better, Monday healed one of these and got a 20 yesterday. Oh,
I mean, 17 plus 4, that's a 21.
that's true.
Yep.
Each day, I'll
Blackjack.
give him 2 more.
Okay. Roll 2 more times.
I'd be on my spectral horse, FYI.
Okay.
It'd be 2 more for each day, right? Because it's a total of 4 casts.
What? No, you can cast it once a day. So you
Oh,
rolled 2
once?
for the sleeps and then 2 for the heals.
Okay, I wasn't aware that you could only do it once. Okay.
Thank you so much, though. Oh. Yeah.
So eventually you guys pull up here and eventually get towards the estate. And there, past the walls, you guys make your way in, and thankfully, after a look around, Edgar, you can tell that no bandits or anything have taken the place, given that you've simply left it alone during this time. But you haven't heard back from the servants either, and it doesn't look like anybody has taken up the place. Or if they did come by, they left again later. Who knows what has happened? It's kind of eerie to be home, but there's just nobody around. As far as Harold goes, though, you guys do eventually find the ship, and wandering towards that little barracks room, you're able to call for him, and the little window opens up, and past the invisible exterior of the dream ship, you see the interior compartment there, and are welcomed inside.
Can I see if my note and the gold has moved?
Oh. It does not appear that it has.
Revolution. No.
What is that?
He's bummed because he didn't get the luck roll he wanted.
I rolled over the 15! My homeboy, the groundskeeper is supposed to... Rip. Alright, I'll just go into the ship.
Okay.
Back.
Harold, we're home.
It's good to see you all again.
How are you doing, friend?
I've been well. Waiting.
I fear to ask this, but exactly how long? Been waiting?
For a number of days.
Approximate those days for me there, friend.
Answering much faster than I'm actually going to answer. He tells you that it is the... Make another luck roll for me.
Ah, shit.
Jason,
Yeah.
you have luck roll.
Oh. I can feel it. I've been holding back this feeling for so long. It's a really strong 6. I mean, 1 was the best, right?
It's the 3rd of summer, Harold replies.
But,
Holy
Harold,
shit.
you said what now?
It's the 3rd of summer. I have been keeping record since the last time that I heard the date, since the incident where my memory was damaged. I am certain it is the 3rd of summer.
Oh dear Lord.
If it pleases you, I have made mild repairs to myself over the time that you've been gone, but many of my systems are still damaged.
Pleases me greatly. I'm glad that you being in full repair is all that we're looking for right now. But, oh, 3rd of summer.
Does the
Do
date
you need more
upset you?
mushroom people?
Mildly not good.
Was that question directed towards me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Queen.
I'm confused.
I think she means, how is your fuel right now? Do we need to kill the mushrooms now, or are you still good?
I still have enough for anywhere from 3 to 4 jumps minimum. Potentially up to 8 if conditions are optimal.
What if you were to jump to the Shadowfell?
All jumps cost the same. My mode of travel does not use fuel in the same sense that you might imagine.
And you said it's summer. Is it... What year?
I'm not certain of the year.
It's fair you were asleep for long. We didn't exactly orient you that way. Regardless, as you can see, Mackinac is currently in a sleeping state in the non-traditional sense. But we do need to make haste towards some destinations. You wouldn't mind.
Do you mean that you wish to jump, despite the fact the captain is not here?
We do, but I would not ask this of you if it weren't. Yeah.
It's okay. He will come back wherever we are. So he's kind of like he's always with us. In
The
here.
captain will be present. As long as Coco or I are present, the captain will be present. Does that make sense?
I am unable to allow this to happen. I'm sorry, but only the captain can authorize a jump. However, there is a workaround.
Ah.
Do you remember some time back, unfortunately my memory is damaged, but I have records showing that you at one point removed some of my learning limitations. You could remove the limitation... Did I say something wrong?
Harold, that's just a very scary thought again. That's all. You're incredibly impressive.
Again, what happened the first time?
That wasn't anything. What are you talking about?
As I was saying, there is a panel that you could remove, and by making minor adjustments would allow me to perform a jump in the absence of the captain. But as it is written right now, since he has not given me any orders otherwise, I cannot allow this to happen.
Is there such a way that at later dates we could give a command code as if the captain were making such a command?
A way to prove that the captain has authorized a jump.
Yes, bypass of sorts.
Certainly.
Well, that'll be on the docket later, but for now, the panel removal sounds treacherous and terrifying, but everyone,
You
It's
need
not so
not be
bad.
afraid.
Mackinac still the captain, and all that still is in place, right?
Of course.
Just gonna let us jump. It's not gonna do anything else, right, Harold?
There are certain restraints placed on what I can do. At the captain's behest, I can perform these actions that are not normally available to me. Once you've made the modifications, I'll be able to perform these in the absence of the captain.
Yeah, I've seen Space Odyssey. I don't like where this is going.
The hatch shuts suddenly.
I cannot allow you to leave.
I can't let you do that.
No, don't worry, Dominic. It's fine. It's Harold. He's our buddy.
I love Harold dearly. It's just we've
we're
seen
just tweaking
firsthand in
something.
this estate what unrequited power does to even the most prominent of figures.
Harold, no. We've been through so much together already. He's like family.
He is indeed. That's why I care for him.
Look, we need to get to this temple. Let's mess with the stuff.
The panel is the third from the left, right next to the console on the left-hand side.
We're all gonna die.
I'll go have a look at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the Master Tinker do his
I'll-
thing.
I'll peek over his shoulder, and when the time is right, I'll cast Enhance Ability, if he is going to do this.
So do you go over to the panel, Coco?
Yeah, I'll go take a look.
Sure. When you get over there to that side, you see that the ship, of course, is made of all these sort of curvatured panels to make up the spherical shape of the room. and the panels are held on by what looks to be little clips of some kind. And using your tinkerer's tools, you're able to remove these, and the panel pops off. Underneath that, you see what looks like different pipes, and on top of the pipes, you can also see what looks like wires of some kind, and all sorts of different metal implements moving around. And though there's nothing in motion here, there's a great amount of like heat that kind of comes off from the panel, as there must be something going on in there, maybe magical or something like that. You can also hear what sounds like a low hum that kind of emanates out. And Harold's voice continues, and he says, you should see a wire near the bottom. It should be colored green. Do you see it?
I'll have a look for the green wire.
Okay. The green wire is pretty easy to see, and there's a bundle of wires towards the bottom there that have been all grouped together, and the green one sticks out like a sore thumb, most of the other wires being red or blue.
What does this wire do, Harold?
If you trace the green wire's path, you should see where it ends, at a terminal box, just a little bit further along the length. It should be towards the basin.
Okay, you want me to cut this, right? And I'll pull a knife out.
Nope, please do not damage the wire. I wish for you to pull this from its terminal socket, and I will direct you to place it into another one.
That sounds simple enough. This isn't going to, like, zap me, is it?
No.
Can I cast augury and say Colcoat taking out the green wire and putting it in the other place?
Sure. The result that you get is weal and woe. Now, as you look further down the wire there, Colcoat, you see what he's talking about. And you actually have to stick your head a little bit into the panel. It's not readily visible, but you see where the wire ends. There's a box, and that box seems to be where most of the wires meet. It's like a circuit board of some kind. There's a whole bunch of these wires just plugging in there. But there's a bunch of open connections, a bunch of places where you could presumably plug wires in that are currently empty. And some of these have different little bits of writing on them, like weird symbols and such. And when you're looking over there, Harold calls out and he says, "Do you see the terminal?"
Yeah, what do all these little slots with the symbols mean?
They correspond to higher order functions. I need you to remove the green wire from its current slot and place it in the slot uppermost and furthest to the left.
Dominic,
Yes?
can you read these things here?
Sure. Go ahead and read it out loud.
Sure. Up at the top, you can see that this board has been set up into rows and columns. And along the very top row, there's a bunch of writing there. And you see that it says clearance, and then there's a number under the different pieces, right, under the different terminals, and the slots. And there's 5 of them, and so it goes from 1 all the way up to 5. And it looks like the one that Harold is asking you to plug this green wire into is the very first one.
First is in, like, the lowest clearance or the highest?
Well, who knows?
Probably the highest clearance. Let's assume that he now comes.
Harold,
back
that seems like a big move. Does it have to go up that much?
There's a pause, and then Harold continues, and he says, "If you wish for me to perform the actions that the captain would normally be able to call, yes."
Would you be the captain then?
I am the captain.
We can't take the role of captain from Mackinac. I am the welcome cat.
Harold, are these changes reversible? Can we switch it back after?
At any time, the wires could be reconfigured, though if placed in the wrong order, it could cause damage. I assure you, however, it is safe to place the green wire at the first slot.
Okay, I could just put it there. We do the jump. Put it right back.
Edgar has no idea what's going on, so he's implicitly trusting these people that clearly are going to start the next Skynet apocalypse here.
So you two are over there, Kalik, you're with them as well, and everybody else is just looking on like the worried crew across the room.
Hollywood, I'd like to present the new script for Terminator 7.
Fucking horrified.
It won't be so bad. Like, we'll just do it really quick. The jump's just super fast. We put it back.
A metallic
Harold,
Asian
no,
dude shows up to kill Connor's character.
Harold, know that we love you dearly. That
Please, no.
my worry is purely for the safety of you and everyone.
Plus, we don't want Mackinac to get mad.
I assure you it will cause no damage to my systems to place the green wire in the first slot.
Would it cause damage to our systems?
No.
Duh.
Just kill you.
Does this just get rid of everything? It looks like it just gives you full access.
Yes.
That's a lot. What if you leave us and then we're stranded somewhere?
Oh.
No.
There's no response from Harold, and there's just a sort of eerie pause that sits there for a while until he says, "Why would I leave you?"
Come on!
I don't know. I don't know what happens when you get full control of this thing. Those elder ones or whatever, that could be hundreds, thousands of years old. Who knows what that's going to do to your brain?
God, det är som vad svajfori, man. I'm not down.
Well, you live and you learn.
Just the robot
I just want to tell you guys
flies
the
away.
last
They
time
grow up so fast.
the last time we activated such a thing, it turned into a wasp that was indiscriminately murdering everything in sight and may have destroyed Hillcrest.
That is
I'm
not
just
the
saying.
same.
Harold, what would happen if we would you be able to jump if we slotted this into the second slot?
Yes. However, other functions granted only by the captain would be sealed off from me.
Well, like what? We just want to jump. Which one just lets us jump? Can we just do it in the first one? Look, let's just move it to the lowest one and put it in there and see if he'll jump. If it doesn't, we go up one. Eventually, it will work, right?
I'm
Did
sensing
say
high
that.
levels of distrust from you, Colcoat. Are we not
I
friends?
just don't want to. I don't want to get Mackinac mad at me. I've known him for a very long time.
I'd like you to make a deception roll, please.
Oh, towards Connor for real.
Uh-oh.
Come on! Not towards me! That's the first rule!
Don't need augury to know what's gonna happen with that, man.
Whoa!
Come on.
Wait. What do I have? A +1. It's a 2.
Sure it
It's
is.
a strong 2 with 1 being the best.
Doesn't the nobility thing give you like advantage?
On persuasion.
Fuck!
Nobles don't lie. Come on.
Yeah, sure.
Edgar sweats.
Dominic sweats harder.
I understand, Colcoat.
Well, Colcoat will be the first to die, at least.
This is it.
What do we think? Should we move it?
Well, if anyone's going to do it,
Now,
should be.
while the three stooges are over here by the control panel, what are you four doing? Are you guys chit-chatting about anything, or just kind of killing time? Is this like a worrisome thing to watch, or is it like, we don't have a horse in this race, or...
I would have seemed like indifferent at first, but now this is kind of devolving into weird territory. Even for
Sure.
someone who doesn't know what robots are, it seems a bit bizarre here.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm looking nervous.
Yeah.
Got vomit on my sweater already. On spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
I'm gonna leave this choice up to you there, Doctor.
Well, I don't know if you guys are gonna like it, but
We could always walk to the temple until Makinar comes back. Take a ship from Soulsland. That doesn't require a wire being moved.
with all of these time skips, who knows how long it would take to get anywhere. I don't think we can risk it. Harold, before we came back here, I was saying that you were like family to us, so I'm sorry for just trusting you. You've been good to us, and you're a true friend. So I trust you. And I unplug it and I put him in the highest control.
Okay. When you
So,
plug it into the first
my
slot there,
ship.
all the lights in the ship just flicker for a moment and then go out. And then just they come back on there a moment later. And you hear Harold's voice, and he says, "Thank you, Colcoat."
You got it, buddy. So, can we go to Aurelio's temple?
Certainly. Do you have a location on the map?
Gotta look at Aurelio. Eh?
Would I know, Lucian?
Where it is? I'd hope so.
Oh yeah. I think
I-
it is up here.
It is up, yes.
It's up here somewhere.
Oh, I think the
Most
marker
likely
got
in-
moved, but it's on this island here.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Winter's Heart.
Okay.
Or near Winter's Heart. I was about to say I was looking for the marker and I couldn't find it.
You
So I asked you.
you pointed it out there, and Harold continues, and he says, "I can take you to this northern island. However, I would advise that you put the panel back, as it's best to have everything properly stowed before we make the next jump."
He's locking that shit so hard.
Quick, get a piece of scotch tape. Put it on the last part.
It's all right. We'll close it. I got it. I got the Harold. I'll close it up.
Okay. Do you close the thing?
Yeah, I'll close it.
Okay. You put the clips back on,
Coco
and
genuinely feels really bad that Harold, like that he was distrusting Harold earlier.
you put the panel back on, and Harold continues, and he says, "Good. The hatch is closed, and we are set to jump. I can go on your mark."
Well, if everybody's ready, yes, close the hatch and let's go.
Very well. And a moment later, all of the ship's lights seem to suddenly change, and there's that weird warbling effect as a pattern of colors goes streaming across the ceiling and the walls, and everybody feels momentarily like they're in a room that must be rising rapidly, like the everybody's weight increases for a brief moment, and then a second later, it all seems to stop. After that, Harold continues, and he says, "We're here. And I'd like somebody to make a luck roll to see how much fuel you've just used.
Oh fuck.
Not toward Connor.
Well, you can't roll towards me either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both tainted.
There's 2 no-go zones. You got this here, and then you got this over here.
You have to roll right in this channel.
Yeah. The good dice
Right,
land here.
Right between the crack.
Right here. And if you can get it to curve like a pool ball over here, that'd be great. Just around in this general area.
Okay, so 9. So you guys burn down to 29%.
Ah.
It's not terrible.
Oh, it's not great either.
Well, that's alright. There's still a few in there.
The jump is complete. We've arrived on the island.
Can you open the hatch and let's have a look? Hopefully we're quite close.
I can. My sensors detect that it is quite cold outside.
How cold?
Significantly. If you were to pour water, it may freeze before hitting the ground.
Good thing I've got these fuzzy jackets.
And I got my pimpin' noble black wolf fur like cloak over my armor. It's going
Yeah,
like
I'm just
pimpin'.
standing there in my armor, just going, ah. Well, I can only wear this, so great.
I'll,
Arilla like cold.
I think I've got 2 of them in my inventory. Pretty sure. You
Oh, I
bet.
need a second roll. Can you make a luck roll to see how close you guys are here on the island to your actual...
Yeah, we
That'd
rolled
be-
the 20. We rolled the 20 for that one.
Oh, did you?
Yo, we're like right there.
I got
Steve,
2 fur
Steve.
coats.
I need you to roll this down south, okay? Just no. I don't like the movement.
Picture the
You-
channel.
Like this. Yeah.
Bring it
Yeah.
home.
I need to move. God damn it! Every time.
Oh my god.
Fall off.
Oh,
I swear-
7.
Okay.
Roll it like a normal person. God damn. Why you always like fling it with the power of 1,000 suns?
It has to be done.
All right, I can feel that.
I got a 7.
Okay. What do you guys want to do here?
Shiver as I step out. Oh wait, no, I'm used to this kind of climate.
Are
Yeah,
you
I'm
opening
good.
up the hatch?
The coat for Manny.
I'm ready to go.
Cold Coat, do we want to put the access back to the same level it was before we leave?
It's probably okay.
All right.
Harold would not leave us here.
We may need to leave in
Oh.
a hurry.
Oh, I meant more for Mackinac. It seems like you're concerned about his status, or rather, I'm not sure.
We'll talk to him when he appears.
Sure.
It'll be alright.
Thank you, Harold.
Thank you.
It's no
See
problem.
you soon.
Should we, before we leave, just have him run a quick analysis, maybe while we're away, for Shadowfell and cross-referencing the fort?
Is that
Yeah, if you're up
possible?
for some quick reading, Harold.
If you've brought me more books, I'll happily read them.
Oh, do you still remember the first ones we had?
Yes.
And I'll hold one of them up. Oh, well, can you check through those for Shadowfell or Star-shaped fortresses?
Yes, Harold, the star-shaped fortress, it should be theoretical, but if you know of any civilizations or cities or empires that are capable of building it and have the funds to do so, that would help us possibly narrow it down, or any real in existence that you've heard of.
I need a luck roll, please.
All right, Connor it is.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Rolls it into the zone of death.
No, it's the channel. He's right in between.
Nice! Yeah.
Because this was in between the channels, so.
Oh, I see. It's like a buoy. It's a
Mhm.
channel buoy of luck.
17.
It's like bocce ball.
Harold continues and he says, the Shadowfell is one of the major planes. I read much on its existence and its properties. As far as a star-shaped fort, there are mentions of it, retrieved from the archives that were taken from Dominic's family library. I have seen propositions and proposals for the creation of such a fort, though no one is believed to have completed it.
Mm.
It is largely believed by the higher-up noble families, at least some of those further out towards the west, that both Hillcrest and the Empire towards the south are currently working on such a fort, though neither is said to have completed it.
Do we know if this type of architecture is exclusive to Skyfall?
I have not read much on the architecture of other planes. I am familiar with the genies and their ability to build, and a star-shaped fort is not something common to their culture.
Hmm. And what about the dwarves?
Unlikely. Though they are skilled with stone, they could certainly be useful as laborers on such a project.
Well, it narrows it down to a continent and a couple of places. That's not bad. Hillcrest seems likely. They're isolationist, although they're fighting off the environment around them as much as.
Do you believe somebody has completed the fort?
We have evidence and blueprints that that's the case. Yes. And a different plane, no less. I know that would require quite a lot of resources, and I don't know if laborers are readily available within the Shadowfell. I know nothing of it.
Unlikely. Shadowfell is quite desolate. If
How
there
would
was
you make a
aid,
fort there?
it was likely brought in. The natural denizens are little more than evil spirits.
So, from our understanding, it would have to be a copy of what was in existence already. So we find that fort here. We may be able to find where it is in the Shadowfell.
It is potential to create a structure or something new in one of the mirror planes, and it won't manifest in the material plane. So, if this was built in the Shadowfell, it could potentially be anywhere. Anywhere large enough to support such a structure, that is.
Can you make it out of magic?
It's certainly possible. Many wizards have used magic to construct buildings.
Maybe it's a magic fortress.
That
Do you
may
have an
be.
idea? Do you have an idea of the geography of this Shadowfell, by chance?
Wait. Didn't it say it was surrounded, like it was on a hill, surrounded by a forest? In the blueprint?
I believe so, yes.
Clearing land around such a fort would allow you to have guards see much further and see an attack come way in advance. If you're investing that much in building a fortress, it would make sense to clear the land around it.
I specifically remember it stating it was surrounded by a forest, but it was on a hill.
I imagine this configuration occurs in a few different spots. Were my sensors operational, I could search for it.
What about this, guys? The City of Shadows.
What's that?
No, it's too on the nose.
But it says Shadow.
Harold, do you have a? I'm assuming you have a map in your memory
Yes.
For a structure, let's say, how big is this structure?
You could describe it to him. It's definitely like as big as a castle or a palace complex.
Okay, I would describe as much as I can to him.
Okay.
And I would ask him, from what he knows and what he's read, to compare that to notable, I don't know, areas on the map that may match that.
Oh.
Something that may...
He says to you, the clearing must be quite large. Such a structure would be only slightly smaller than the entire city of Yule. This is a very large fortress.
Well, while we're away, could you possibly think on that?
Certainly.
We're counting on you.
Very well.
That's all I got.
Are we ready to go then?
I mean, I'm equipped for the journey, I think, although I've never really dealt with anything that cold before. Make sure you guys are bundled up.
Does any have any extra coats or no?
I had 2, and Kalik took one of them. I also have.
When's the last time you fed him?
I also have 2 blankets.
The,
Hey,
the poor child.
I also have 2 blankets that I could give you.
Sure. I'll take a blanket because you coat yourself.
Oh, please let Cold have the other blanket. I do not like the cold.
Sure.
I have a bear head if you want to use that. It smells a little, but you
Good
can
God.
use it.
It's basically pudding at this point.
I just reach out my perfume and spritz it once. That's okay.
Shall we get going then?
Sure.
No, I still have 2 tents.
Won't you put one on then?
Just say if anybody wants to wear a tent, you know.
I might consider it if it is very cold.
Aleutian, what's your ruling on recasting, like, let's say cantrips? Let's say, like, resistance?
Oh, I see. I would say that you could recast it on yourself, repeatedly kind of thing. But if you're to do it more than... Well, how long does it last for, I suppose?
It only lasts a minute.
A minute?
Until your next save.
Gotcha.
But it's a minute.
I'd say you could probably do that on yourself for maybe like an hour before you would have to start making like rolls to see if you fuck it up by accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
If the cold is that much of a problem, I would probably like keep recasting that to
Sure.
keep myself comfortable, but
Okay.
there is a limit. So
Are you guys headed out?
I mean, we'll test it. If we get abandoned here, we may TPK from freezing to death.
No, we'll just swim back. It'll be fine.
we also had
That's
that
okay.
teleport scroll.
Harold's
Yo,
not gonna do it.
I'm not gonna be the Rose to your Leo, okay? Like, we're not gonna
You
die.
are my rose, you are my rose, you are my rose.
Oh my god,
Jesus Christ.
that hurt to listen to. Let's do it.
Okay. Edgar, you
The
place
door
your
to-
hand on the
Sorry,
hatch
yeah.
here,
Yeah.
grabbing the lever, and when you pull it down, the thing slides upwards. The weird door moves on its metallic contraption there, and opens up a little door-shaped window to the outside world, where you guys see pure blinding white and a howling wind as snow is flown into the cabin and swirls about.
Delightful.
I'm dropping the the mask on my helm to cut the wind, and I'm fucking bundling up here,
Okay.
and I'm walking out.
Sure. So you step outside into the snow. Your feet actually sink down pretty far, and it goes right up to about your knees.
Oh shit, that sucks ass.
I'm just gonna say to everyone, if you can still feel parts of your body, something's wrong. And just truck out.
Okay,
Yo,
so you
Titch
make
is
your
gonna straight up hobbit it like the fucking passes in the Lord of the Rings.
We have to turn back!
The little ones!
The little ones won't survive this.
Wait. Okay. Sorry.
Arlo, you might have to carry him. I'll make my way.
I'll put on a tent too if it's still available.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Does anybody else step out?
I step out. Arilla's not
Step
afraid.
out.
Old.
Yeah. Stepping out too.
Annabelle?
Thank you, Harold. We won't be too long.
Yep, me too.
Annabelle, when you step outside here, you hear a loud metallic clang, and all of you guys notice that the hatch closes.
Wait, Cole
Supposed to do that, right?
Oh yes, of course, so no one can see it. Thank you, Harold. We'll see you soon.
Can you,
No, Coco, you're still inside of the ship.
Oh wait, what? Oh no, that's not good.
You're like 5 feet away from the door there when the hatch closes.
Oh!
Oh shit.
What's the problem, Harold? Is this tent not going to stand up to the elements?
Do you trust me, Coalcoat?
I do, Harold. I'm sorry that I had clouded judgment before. These time skips and demons and darts and wizards. It's been a lot.
I need to make a roll.
Oh. Does the robot buy your shit?
Will
You're
the
under
Roomba
stress.
save your life?
It's actually yes. It's been a lot going on. We're trying to save the world, I think.
I would like to consider you and the crew to be my friends.
Well, of course we're friends. After what we've been through, I mean, it's almost like we're family.
I just wanted to ask if you trusted me, because for a moment there by the panel, I worried that you didn't.
I won't lie, I had a brief moment of doubt, but I definitely trust you, Harold. I put the panel back. I did not intend to move the wire. We're friends. You're part of Catman Robotics.
Do you regret your decision, as I am now effectively my own captain?
I guess if Mackinac gets very mad at me, then yes, but you're quite the capable person, Harold.
I'll release the hatch. I recommend that you don't tell them of this conversation.
I'll just zip my lip motion. Nothing to worry about, Harold. That's what friends are for.
Stay warm, friend. If I had a jacket, I would give it to you.
I appreciate it, Harold.
The hatch
I really
opens
hope-
up.
I hope I don't freeze my tail off. We'll see you soon, and we'll get back to Vossenick soon. Do some more repairs and refuel.
Yes, that sounds good.
All right. Well, thanks for the ride. See ya, buddy.
When you step outside, the hatch closes again, and you step out into the snow, where I imagine everybody is looking on concerned.
Hello, friends.
Small
This is very
malfunction
cold.
there.
I do not like it, but this tent is actually helping a bit. Thank you, Aurelio.
You're welcome.
Harold
tried
have
this
something
already.
to say in private?
Do I have something to say in private?
No, did Harold have something? say in private.
He just told me to be careful and to stay warm.
Feel bad myself. Feel myself becoming more and more like my father.
Like a father?
No, like my own father.
Like
I
his
like it.
father, and I point to Edgar.
Yes, don't become like his father. I'm sorry, Edgar, no offense.
I turn around and all you see is the visor, the thin, slit, horizontal visor of my helm. And I pause and I just keep it on you for you don't know, you can't see my reaction. And then I turn back around and start walking. I don't even know what to do.
As you're like staring, like, don't worry, my father's kind of a deadbeat. He has hundreds of children everywhere. Doesn't give a copper to any of us.
I don't know why,
right?
but I thought of the Arrested Development scene. So much pressure to be bright. I got kids all over town. Oh god.
Alright, we're following you, Arillo.
Yeah, let's make it quick. I'm getting cold.
A couple of uneasy moments later, and you guys look around to see where the fuck it is that you're supposed to go. It's a snowy landscape in every direction. A couple rolling hills here and there. A perception check, please, Arillo, as everybody turns their attention towards you to see what the fuck it is you're supposed to do.
Alright. Let me just
I
get my
turn.
precision.
To Cold Coat. If we stay out here any longer, I might have to call you Cold Coat.
I am already cold.
Kill me first.
I can't feel my
better.
tail.
That's a solid 13.
Okay.
I told you that's a good thing.
No,
Looking
it is
around.
not. It might fall off.
Amidst the snow, you can make out the vague outline of what appears to be the only real landmark on this accursed island. It's a mountain off in the distance, the only thing that can really be seen here. As far as any structure or temple, you see nothing like that around.
I don't see a building, or I don't see the temple, but I see a mountain in the distance.
How's the weather over there?
Bright and sunny. I
I'm
love
sure
it.
it's balmy.
Remember, you guys are here in the summertime.
Oh god.
No, it's summer in the southern hemisphere.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I take my gun out and just kind of scan the area with the scope?
Oh,
Oh, sure.
Can I send my owl out while he's doing that?
Okay.
Just do a flyby, see if anything.
Make a perception check, please, there, Colcoat.
Oh, wait a minute. I rolled it the wrong way. Right. 13.
13. Okay. You're able to pick out what it is that he's looking at, and with the magnifying glass there put up, you can actually see that at the bottom of the mountain there does appear to be something man-made, perhaps. It's far away, though. It's going to take hours trudging through here.
Oh, it's down there. See, he knows where we're going. The mountain. There's a thing at the bottom.
As for your owl,
We don't know
Tidge,
that, though.
he's able to circle around, and when you take control of his vision, you see that there's basically just nothing around you. Though, given how much snow has been laid down, certain bumps might be indicative of something perhaps more nefarious under the snow, or maybe this drift over here conceals a pit or something. It's tough to tell. Everything's just a sheet of white.
Can't really see much through my owl's eyes. There might be some hazards up ahead, but I can't see anything by way of a temple.
Well, the sooner we get going, the sooner we get out of this cold.
True enough.
I can bet that there's the temples over there.
Dude,
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
caught the glimpse in my scope. It's definitely down there.
Also,
Arillo,
that's
you-
what even happened.
Arilla, you're gonna have an easier time trudging through this than us. It'll carve a path for us, so if you don't mind, can you lead the way?
Does anybody have any scrap metal or a piece of wood?
I cock my plated helm head to the right.
Use Edgar's shield.
We
I
could
bring
make
up a plated
sled.
finger. I shake it left to right.
Oh, I still have a shield. Here, you use this, Aurelio.
I am going to take his shield and kind of figure out a way to make a sled out of it. That way I can pull the littler folk, or the smaller folk, or
What
whoever
the
wants to be on
fuck is
it.
that supposed to mean?
Means you weigh 30 pounds and could probably glide smoothly over the snow surface.
I can't fly on myself and go up 30 feet.
Okay.
Well,
Your ears fall off.
The small one flies away before you can put him on the sled.
Handle myself.
that's not a bad idea. Coco,
Yes, do the thing.
doing the thing. I'll cast fly on Coco and myself.
Okay. 2 more people take to the skies.
What the actual fuck?
I thought my idea was good.
It's a great idea.
I'll hop on the shield.
It's a great idea, but you can run ahead, and I believe we can probably pull a bit of the sled with speed similar. Might be able to make some haste.
With a poof noise, you tip over the side of the shield as the snow underneath gives way on one side, and you tumble under.
Great. Well, there goes that idea.
You guys hear Annabelle's thoughts on the whole idea, muffled from under the snow.
Alright, well, I guess it was worth a try. Let's, start headed out.
Okay. Like a human snowplow, you lead the way, and for those of you not posh enough to fly through the air, you make your travel in a single file line through the snow over towards the mountain. Along the way, some of you start to feel how you're not exactly made for this kind of weather. And Kalik, you'll be fine as you're casting a resistance, and Arillo, being a Goliath, you're peachy as well, but some of you guys are going to have to make for me Constitution saving throws. The DC is 10. However, if you happen to be somebody who's not wearing either a coat or some kind of insulating clothing, then the DC is going to be worse.
Keep in mind for your
What about
saving
a
throw.
blanket and a tent?
I would say with both of those that you can add a +2 to your roll, and anyone with a jacket as well can get a +2.
If you're near me, you
Wait.
can add +3 to your saving throw.
Aha,
How about
nice.
how about
Okay,
a sad ex-noble from
So
Snowy
plus
Place?
5, right?
So are we all rolling the solution?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't have to because you're a Goliath. You're fine.
Is it a plus 5 then?
Yeah.
I'm used to the cold temperatures.
Son.
Oh,
plus
Lucian, I'm from
Edgar's
Kazatov, though.
Thanks, Edgar.
No problem.
Thanks, coat in my inventory since like session
Aw.
2.
Fuck.
Oh, got a man down.
You said +3 being near you?
Yes,
No, but I'm in this.
+3 or
You're
5?
it's +3. It's my
Three,
charisma
okay.
modifier.
Gotcha.
And he said +5 because she had a +2 from something else, I guess. I don't
Okay.
know.
My coat.
Gotcha.
No, your coat gives you a lower DC, not +2. +2 is like if there's a tent or something.
Oh,
Sorry, no,
okay.
that's my bad. I said both, I think. So you could,
Yeah,
you could
you
add
did.
the +2 there. But what did you
Oh,
roll there in
really?
the end, Dominic?
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, no, not.
Oh, damn.
11.
That's my actual roll then.
Well,
Okay.
the snow becomes water as you melt the landscape.
Extra hotness.
It's Greenland now.
You guys make your way across, and while doing so, Arillo, I'd like you to make for me a, let's see, a charisma roll, please.
Ooh, what is? You have a +3, buddy.
plus. Oh wait. +3 -1, so +2. So it's a 12.
Okay.
Why couldn't have I gotten that?
While striding forward here, the wind seems to shift. And though you guys are making decent time, and the mountain is certainly getting larger as you close in on the thing, the wind, which is erratically going left, right, forward, or back, suddenly takes a bad turn, and snow is now blustering against you guys. For those of you flying in the air, it becomes a bit of a problem, and those of you on the ground as well. It's almost like this island is resisting you guys from moving forward. Do you press on?
I'll lift my shield to block the wind.
Sure.
For me, anyways.
Could I fly down next to Arulo?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna slowly land as we're making pace because it only lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Is it 10 minutes?
Yeah, I
hour.
just read it. Yeah.
Ah, I thought it was an hour, but I guess
No, it's an hour.
Is it an hour?
Oh yeah, it's way longer than a minute.
No,
Right.
I see 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that was useless.
Oh shit, it's up to 60. Okay. 60 feet. Minutes. Alright, yeah, we're
Sweet.
walking.
Yep.
I'll walk towards the back. Towards the end of my flying time, I guess. Just face plants in snow.
Yeah, I think both of us probably thought we would have longer and then just fall out of the sky.
We're like, oh yeah, we're good.
It's a pretty
wait,
harmless landing, thankfully, though, given the
As soon as we like, damn it, Dominic.
Aurelio, might I suggest perhaps seeing if you can get in touch with Dyson and maybe he can offer you some guidance.
Yes.
I mean, do what you want. It's your quest, I guess. It's just a thought. Poof.
I didn't even catch what you said because my mic cut out.
Said you might want to think about trying to get in touch with Dyson and see if he might
Yes,
offer you some guidance.
I will be right back. I'm gonna go over into like the snow and kneel down.
Okay. It comes up to about, like your collarbone there.
Dyson, are you there?
There's no response. Snow just buffets against the side of your face there as the wind blows against your group.
If you could give us a sign that we're headed in the right direction, that would help a bit.
I would like a luck roll, please.
Oh,
Ooh,
Okay.
17.
that spooked me.
Look, see, that's because this corner of the table is as far as you can get from either Connor or Ashley.
Yeah, so you gotta throw it there.
When you say this, you suddenly hear something. All of you guys hear this. Off in the distance, it sounds like a great triumphant roar that comes echoing down from the top of the mountain. And it's unmistakable. There's only one creature that really sounds like that, and even though some of you have probably never encountered it and only heard of it in legends, you intrinsically know what it is, as you hear the cry of a dragon.
Fuck?
I have another sign.
There's no response.
Is his god a dragon?
This is not looking so good.
Thank you, Dyson. And
Really, you never mentioned there might be a dragon.
You're
Well,
saying that to
I-
him as he walks back through the snow towards you guys.
Is that
Well-
the welcome dragon?
I
don't
don't
know.
think he's like the welcome cat.
I don't know what's gonna be ahead, but
I think we've got a pretty good idea.
well, you never know. But I asked Dyson for a sign, and as soon as I did, that came. So We're going in the right direction.
All smiles. and
Are you
waves.
sure? That
Does this temple require a blood sacrifice or something? Like,
Not that my chief has spoken about.
Okay, like what do the cards say?
Hides the ritual knife.
Slips it into my boot. Even though I'm not wearing boots.
I'll start to ritual cast augury.
Sure.
oh, and
Oh my hey.
Well, what's the plan?
Walking forward, just
I'm
well.
dragon bait.
Okay. You guys keep going. And while you do so, you ritual cast augury again. And this time, what is it? I think you need to roll to see whether or not it's actually going to misfire, right?
Alicia, you need to. And
I
we
need
don't
to?
know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
we
know
don't.
there's
We
no-
don't get.
Oh shit! I didn't realize it was the same.
It's too
day.
late now, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's okay.
Let's see. Here. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Why would you
Alright.
say that?
As you're approaching here, what are you asking it?
We follow Arillo.
It says wheel and woe.
I'm satisfied.
You pull out a mundane card, the Three of Cups, and then just keep on going. Now, during this time here, I need once again the same Constitution saving throw from everybody. If you have the clothes on, you can add a +2. If you're near Edgar, a +3 on top of that. The DC, though, is going to go up, so type in what your result is.
we're all sorry. I missed what we're rolling for.
Con save.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Trudging through the cold.
Not
I'm
happening
freezing to
anymore.
Arillo doesn't have to make those.
24, 16, 20, 19.
So Arillo and I
Nice.
still good.
Oh, nat 1. Oh, no.
Dude becomes a statue.
Ah! The little ones.
The cold is starting to get to some of you guys, and while a few are acclimatizing all right, some of you guys are starting to feel less and less of the tip of your nose, and your fingers are becoming a little bit less responsive than usual. And Tidge, I would like you to take 10 cold damage, and Annie, oh well, I rolled 2 ones. You take 2 damage cold.
Wait, why am my HP at 0?
Well, you just had a bunch of long rests, so it should be maxed out.
Yeah, it should be, but somebody's been messing with my stuff.
The cold is starting to get to you guys, but you're about halfway there.
Seeing everybody kind of injured from that, I'm going to grab the second tent that's in my inventory and break it apart and then make a fire with it. If that's alright.
Sure, you guys
Try
want
and
to stop
warm
and
up.
make
Could've
camp here?
just hung
Or
out
do you want
there.
to keep going?
I mean, we can try to make torches and see how long they last.
In this wind, do you think torches would just blow out?
Hmm.
Let's wrap
No.
Annie and Tidge in the other tent. It's doing a great job for me.
They'll bundle together for heat.
The only way to get warm is to move on.
Alright, let's continue on.
Okay. Roll the saves again, please.
Oh boy.
Holy shit, that's banana.
24. Good. You pass.
Ooh.
You pass. Pass. Not so
This
much.
shit is
Okay.
bananas.
Not so much. The two of you, again, take some damage there. This time 10 to you, Annie. And 7 to you.
I'd like to use 15 lay on hands, or 16 lay on hands, and I'll heal each for 8.
Okay. The healing energy helps, and despite the fact that your body feels like it's starting to freeze up and shut down, the healing magic from Edgar is enough to keep you guys going. You're not on the cusp of death or anything, but this trudge through the snow is certainly getting to you. But there is a good sign up ahead, as you guys can see what this man-made structure is now. You're on the final leg of the journey, and towards the base of this large mountain, you can see something. You're alerted to it at first by the cry of the dragon once more. As it calls out, some of you look further upwards, no longer staring down into the snow, and you see the structure there. It's like a large archway. Like a druid gate, almost. Just like a bunch of stones arranged in an upside-down U formation.
So an N.
I guess so? You know what? Fuck you, Annie. But you guys eventually make your way over there, and when you get up towards
We're
it...
gonna die now, thanks to you.
Yep.
You can see that this archway actually has what looks like a set of, like some kind of path behind it. Like there's evidence that somebody has trudged through the snow here before, and it leads straight towards the mountain face. When you guys get there, you also notice something else. Now standing maybe 30 feet away from this man-made rock-shaped N, you can see that the winds are no longer buffeting against you guys, but instead are swirling around in a circle, like you're at the center of the eye of a storm or something like that.
Okay, that's good.
Everyone all right?
Not really.
Oi, fine it.
There's an icicle that comes down from the end of Tidge's nose.
I don't know if we're gonna have room to rest in there, but we need to at least find shelter first.
Some warmth.
I mean,
or
I can
anything,
make a
really.
hut. It'll take a while, but
How long?
it'll be an hour and 10 minutes or so.
I still
Let's at
do
least
have
get a
another
bit
10.
closer under shelter, and then we can make it.
It'll at least be ambient in there.
Okay.
Does anybody pass through the archway? Do you guys all go through it?
Where's the
I'll
dragon
go.
right now?
Ooh.
Mm,
You can
I don't
hear
know
the
if
thing
I
up
go
there on the
through.
mountain, but you don't see anything.
I mean, the archway, the mountain is big as fuck, right? We're just going
Yeah.
into an archway at the base of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna kick Colco in the shins and go, hey, wouldn't this be a good place to see if there's...
What?
What? See what? Dominic?
Sorry, Chili.
Oh, hey, that's not a bad idea.
Can't speak anymore.
Yeah, I'll use the portal detection. See if there's anything around.
Oh. You can sense that there's a portal where the archway is. Unmistakably.
Well, it's a portal there. If you want to go in it, it's got to be warmer than here. So let's go through it right
Whoa,
now.
whoa. It might go up to the top. I don't know what's up there, but I don't know if we can face it yet. Might be better to create the hut down here
Doing
first.
it. I'm just walking through.
Do you step through the thing?
I would try to stop him. I don't know if I could, but
I'll try to stop too. It's like I think we must let Aurelio go. Aurelio go through first.
Fine.
This is his temple.
Yes, this is true. We must be respectful. Well,
I'll look
You
to
can go
Aurelio.
after me.
I'll lift the mask on my helm here. Aurelio, I think we need to create this hut down here first. They've taken damage. We've used spells today. If we are going up against what I think we're going up against, we're gonna need everything we have in our arsenal.
I agree with you, Edgar.
Do you guys camp here?
Look, let's just cover them up, break the wind, create torches as much as we can. Even if it burns out, give them a little bit of heat while you and I stand watch. And hopefully, Tidge can make something of this hut spell as quickly as he can.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just minor illusion of fire. It's doing great things.
Flecks of snow are going through it. Just like...
You know, weirdly it helps.
I'm gonna be moving my sword in and out of its sheath so it doesn't freeze
Sure.
and get stuck.
I'm going to set up the other tent
Okay.
and get Annie and Tidge to go into it,
Okay.
just to get out of the wind.
The snow around the arch here is actually compacted, as though people must have been walking around here, or maybe the snow just doesn't fall in this area in the same way, and you're able to set up the tent on some clear ground. When you guys get inside, being away from the wind is certainly a welcome change, though it's not too much warmer than the rest of the place.
I'd be just keeping guard while Tidge starts the spell here.
Oh. It only takes 11 minutes, actually.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll ritual cast Tiny Hut.
Alright. The tiny hut is a beautiful thing. When it finally goes off about 10 minutes later, you don't take any more cold damage or anything. You're able to focus a little bit more and lay out all of your ritual components from the safe interior of the tent. The hut comes into existence, and all of the wind is suddenly blocked, and the temperature seems to noticeably rise a little bit into more comfortable levels. You guys are all safely here in your own little opaque bubble at the base of the mountain, ready to find out what is going on in the next session. And we will end it there.
Okay.
It's getting so intense.
Intense! Well,
Apparently we're fighting an ancient white dragon next time.
I mean, maybe it's just his god being chill and flexing up there.
Or we could have like tried to see what color it was or something.
Illusion just forgot to say that it was a wormling call.
Yeah, definitely not a legitimate dragon.
Yeah, just a bitty one.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Just
just
a wee dragon.
a serious case of thaumaturgy up there. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah, it's like an old man, and he's laying back, and he's actually got central heating and everything, but he's on the porch, and he's like playing the tape with the dragon call,
He's got his
On the
telescope
megaphone.
out there. Oh, there's kids here now.
This always scares him away.
I'll give them a what for.
In any case, well done. You guys managed to solve the puzzle of the map and memorize the fortress fairly well with a good int roll. You've also unshackled your robot, giving him the ultimate power to destroy the universe, and you're about to go and find out what's at the top of this mountain here and get to the bottom of what it is that Arillo's god has in store for him. So we'll pick that up tomorrow when you guys show up for that and see where that goes.
It's great because it lines up perfectly for episode 3 where Lucian wants to run dystopian future in a Shadowrun setting.
Yeah, there you go. Where the most
It's
powerful
okay,
being
it's
in the
gonna be
world is
fine.
an AI named Harold.
No, he's all right.
Alright.
We've gone through this whole time being trusting of everybody. Can't stop now.
Are you
That's
trying to
good.
convince us or yourself?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good with it. We've trusted everybody the whole time,
This is true.
and we've made a lot of friends because of it.
Colcoat looks off in the distance. I'm ready to die.
Oh no, we got plans. Harold and I are gonna travel the universe.
In any case, you'll have to tune in next time for that. So, adios, everyone. See you next time.
Bye.
Later.
And stream.